Welcome to Tendoc Talks about the Power Rangers role-playing game. I swear I already did a video on the Pink Ranger, but I cannot find it anywhere. So let's go ahead and talk about it now. The Pink Ranger's specialty is in speed and social. Smarts and strength are on the lower end, so they don't progress as quickly. The book tells you that you are the true heart of the team. But the Yellow Ranger said you were the soul of the team. What's the difference? I have no idea. I mean, Blue Rangers are supposed to be the technician, Red Rangers are supposed to be the leader, Pink is the heart. You don't have to succumb to that. There's no mechanical changes here. It's just flavor text for anybody wanting to know how Pink Rangers tend to act. But a Pink Ranger is very much a ranged specialist. They get a bonus in speed and social. At first level, you have your starting ranks on your skills. You get +1 finesse, +1 targeting, and +1 persuasion. Finesse is your speed-based martial arts. Targeting is going to be your ranged weapon. They only specialize in light armor, so your toughness values are going to be pretty bad. You are counting on being able to dodge attacks by moving out of the way. You start off with the standard Ranger equipment: wrist communicator, power morpher, blade blaster. Though you start off with a ranged power weapon. So it specifically calls out that it needs to be that. Of course, using the It's Morphin Time ability, you could call any power weapon that you would like for free the first time you morph, but if you do any build but a ranged weapon build, your Pink Ranger abilities are going to work against you. Now, a quick note, you don't have to be pink to be this Ranger class. You don't have to be any color to be any of the Ranger classes. The makers of this game have already stated that it's more of a class identification than an actual need to be that color. So if you're uncomfortable being pink, and no judgment here, talk to your game master, see if you can make it the Silver Ranger, or the purple, gold, orange, or any other color not used. Aqua Ranger, whatever you want. Because if you intend to be a ranged specialist, there is no better class for this thing. So let's get into their special abilities. The Pink Ranger personal power capability, they start off with 2 at level 1, and by level 20 they have 14. Contrast that to the Red Ranger, who I think taps out at 10. So the Pink Ranger has a decent number of power points to spend, and that's very good because the abilities you're going to want to use all the time because they're awesome. At first level, they get a skill called Volley. You can use your Morphin Grid power to launch a volley of attacks instead of a single shot. It costs 1 personal power, and it allows you to take a volley action as long as you do not move this round. So you stand still, use volley, spend a power point, and here's what happens. The volley attack action allows you to make a number of ranged attacks against valid targets equal to the volley shot's number listed on the table above. Range, cover, and other modifiers apply to the targets individually. How many volley shots can you do at level 1? 2. It goes up to 3 at level 5, 4 at level 9, 5 at level 13, and 6 at level 17. So right off the bat, you can shoot at 2 things at level 1. It costs a power point, but that's pretty good, especially at range. At level 2, you learned Hard Target. And this is an ability that suffers a lot from the game rule ambiguity that the language this thing is written in. At second level, you are particularly adept at making yourself difficult to hit in combat. As part of a move action, you are allowed to roll your acrobatic skill to augment your evasion score by the result until the beginning of your next turn. Alright, I have several questions. Your evasion score is 10 plus your speed. When they say roll your acrobatics skill and add it to your evasion, do they mean the skill dice and the d20? Because that is enormous. Like, so you roll a d20 and say your acrobatic skill is the d8, right? You roll a d20 and a d8 and you get 18. You add that to your evasion, which is already 10 base, that's 28, plus whatever your speed is. You'd be in the 30s, easy, just for rolling a 10. It doesn't say your acrobatic skill check replaces your evasion. It says it augments it. I don't know. It doesn't even cost a PowerPoint. All you have to do is move before you shoot. And you get to add your acrobatic skill. Now, if something's targeting your toughness, this isn't going to help. Or your cleverness, or your willpower. But that makes you darn impossible to hit with anything with evasion if you get to add your entire skill to it. I think what they mean is skill dice. I may have to take this to the Power Rangers Discord because that sounds way too overpowered. There's no downside. Anyway, that sounds really good. Also at second level, you get Fleet of Foot so that your running speed increases by 10 while morphed. Increases by 10 again at 12th level, so you get faster. Skip the Zord section because it just says you get one, and here's an example of what kind of Zords you have. They get general perks and grid powers just like any other ranger at the usual numbers. Okay, at 5th level, they gain Penetrating Shot. You aim your weapon so steadily that you can direct a number of shots into the exact same point. This one is amazing. So again, you have to not move. You have to use the Volley ability, which costs a PowerPoint. Then you have to spend another PowerPoint, but it lets you take all of the shots from the Volley and target it into one person. And you only roll accuracy once. And you get one upshift equal to the additional shots after the first volley. Holy crap. Okay, so imagine you were level 20 and you were doing this penetrating shot, right? So you would get to attack 6 targets using volley, right? You spend an extra point to make it a penetrating shot, meaning you target one thing. You roll for accuracy with 6 shifts of bonus. Unless your targeting skill absolutely sucks, that's probably going to be an auto success, auto crit. 6 arrows, all into one guy, 6 damage. Wow. Oh my gosh. Why can't Dungeons and Dragons Rangers have, like, this ability? That would be so good. That's a very good ability. Now, it only works with ranged weapons, which is why earlier I said, if you don't use a ranged weapon as a Pink Ranger, all of your abilities are working against you. Because, my gosh. Also at 5th level, you get Group Strike. This lets you take a single ranged attack and turn it into an area of effect. So it's not quite as good as Volley, or maybe sometimes it could be better, case depending. But you attack a 10 foot by 10 foot area, and make an attack roll against everything in that area. The effect increases to 15 feet by 15 feet at 10th level and 20 feet by 20 feet at 15th level. So in the right circumstance, Group Strike could be better than Volley. You'd use Volley if the targets weren't standing anywhere near each other, and you'd use Group Target if they were. That's a really good ability. Okay, at level 7, you learn Sidestep. You can sidestep danger and dodge certain area effect attacks. So when you are subjected to an attack that has an area effect that targets your evasion, specifically, you may spend a point of personal power to reduce the attack result by the number rolled on your acrobatics skill die. So basically, they target you with some kind of all-encompassing area of effect fireball, and they roll 20. Well, you spend a power point to activate Sidestep, roll an acrobatics check. Yeah, roll an acrobatics check and reduce the amount of damage you take by it. Wait, hold on. The number rolled on your acrobatics skill die. A D20 isn't a skill die. So it's going to be your D2, your D4, your D6, 8, 10, or 12. Let's go back a step. Let's go back to hard target. Roll your acrobatics skill to augment your evasion score. It's probably your skill die and not your whole roll. But it doesn't say that, so I still want to bring it up to the, what is it, Renegade Games? I still want to bring it up to their attention and see if we can't get some clarity on that, because the difference between those two things is extreme. But yeah, Sidestep, it makes it so that possibly the area of effect miss you. Okay, at 7th level, a Pink Ranger can attack twice. It only functions while you're morphed, and that's it, just 2 attacks. Can you volley twice? Special volley attack action. Volley attack action allows you to make a number of range attacks. And whenever you take the attack action on your turn, you can attack twice. No, because it's not every time you attack, it's every time you take the attack action, so no. Okay. Alright, at 9th level you learn Precision Aim. Your ranged attacks are instinctively well aimed and seem to seek out weak points in enemies. If you do not move on your turn, your ranged combat attacks now inflict an additional point of damage if they hit. At 18th level, this bonus increased to 2 damage. Wow. Okay, hold on. So you're doing an extra damage. Imagine doing that with a penetrating shot at level 20, right? You're doing 2 extra damage, 6 shots. If all 6, so you roll a single accuracy, right? So you get 6 damage, oh but wait, 6 more damage, oh but wait, 6 more, 18 damage in 1 shot. Holy crap. Okay, no, and especially, like, say your bow does an extra damage, because I think they do versus grown monsters. You could do, hold on. 18, 24? You could do 24 damage to a grown monster. The Pink Ranger, by themselves, at 20th level, could one-shot a grown monster with, like, 2 power points. Why do we have Zords again? Guys, I cannot stop complaining about Zords. I'm sorry. Until they do something drastic, I'm going to continue to complain about Zords. They just do not make sense to use. And it gets worse, because at level 20, you become Pink Ranger Prime. +2 to all defenses, which is standard. Edge on speed skill checks, which is all of your accuracy, your acrobatics checks. That's really good. And an additional point of damage on targeting attacks. So level 20, with Penetrating Strike, you could do 36 damage on one attack check. Oh, and you'd have 6 upshifts on the check. There's no way you'd miss. And you'd crit. Oh my gosh, you would crit. So basically you choose to do damage again. Okay, what I don't know is, does that add 6 extra damage or 36 extra damage? Because the difference between the difference between 42 and 72 is pretty big. Hold on, I did that wrong, didn't I? No? No, yeah. Did they play test this at all? I'm beginning to think they didn't play test this at all. Don't get me wrong, this is a min-maxer's dream. This is amazing. I'm just not sure it's fair. Anyway, stay tuned for more.